Good morning, everybody. How is it going? True Crime Beats had long intro, Brooks. Long intro, Mama. Brooks had to pee. Brooks actually had a phone call she had to take. So, pee on you, Shannon. Pee on you. And we have some stars behind the scenes. Yes, we do. Look at this. Preschool Granny renewed her membership. Chrissy renewed her membership, and Pat K gifted a membership. I believe Patty Ponytail got it, and I love that for her. So, has everybody heard about what Karen, Fred's sister, she spilled some beans? She opened a can of worms. It is something else. And Ziggy and Fred are really mad about this. So mad, Fred has started his own channel, and Ziggy took hers down. True story. There is no sign of the Zigster on YouTube. But we know what today is. Today is Wednesday, so first, let's pet Mike.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
So enthusiastic she is, so enthusiastic. But we know what we do. I've got on a pink shirt that says Okie Pride, super classy. So tell me what pink you have on. Yes, we do. We've been called crime lines and lesbians, mean girls, and everything else. So we can wear pink when we want. Let's go ahead and welcome our neighbor, and we're going to get to the show because I'm really excited about it. Okay, Fred has his own channel now, and Ziggy took hers down. Okay, so they did a live yesterday. Take a guess. How long do you think the live is? Let me give you a clue. I live outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I could get to Houston, Texas in this time. Actually, no, forget that. That was stupid to say. Let's just say Dallas, okay? This was 6 hours and 32 minutes long. Yes, that's a lot of pissed off to be discussing. I believe Karen should be able to tell her own story about her brother. Let's not forget, there is a little girl missing. Well, Big T's not missing. Look at that. Look at all those memberships coming through. Jenny, Blue Diva, Bellanova, Marie Davis, Test Tube Baby. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for that, Big T. Get your umbrellas. It's a lot going on over there. I misread it. I thought it said 6 minutes and 32 seconds. Then I put my Dollar Tree spectacles on, and I realized it is 6 hours, 32 minutes, and 48 seconds. So we're only going to go through, for obvious reasons, a little bit of it.
We're going live different way than normal.
It's still on YouTube. Okay, you're on Fred's channel because you took yours down because you're scared shitless about Ryan Finds Truth suing your fucking ass, and he plans to. He's already filed the paperwork, so you took all your shit down. Okay, let's be honest. Let's be honest. I don't care who's friends with who. I don't care who fangirls Ziggy. Let's just be honest about what's really going on. Okay. If somebody was trying to sue me and suddenly my channel was gone, I would expect each of you to take the leap and go, oh, Brooks took her channel down because she's getting sued. What a dumbass she is.
So we're hoping this works.
Oh, okay.
Let me hear on my other device.
And he's got the gun. I just automatically, I said, oh, hell no. And I turned around to run back down the hallway. Because I was going to run out the back door. And he jumps up and runs after me and grabs me by I left him my information.
Okay, so this is what's going on. I want everyone to understand this. Okay. I've sped it up almost 4 hours. She is showing Fred's sister, Karen. Okay. She's afraid of getting a strike from Ryan Finds Truth because it is from his channel. So like she said, I have another device. And so she obviously is using a phone to video what Ryan put on YouTube. And here we go. Good morning, Booberwire.
And I left.
What the fuck, these people?
Just take a break? Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. She had to take a break. Never life is, do you want to take a break? Oh my God.
Just continue.
Where are you going?
Covered anything you found at Fred's that you called TBI about, and that was pretty shocking.
Actually, it was a really good interview. I can tell you that laugh scared the shit out of me. Okay. That wasn't a laugh. That was a scream, and it sounded real evil. And there is no way you can dismiss this woman, considering who's Bigot. Thank you, Bigot. So greatly appreciated. I was away when it happened. Thanks to Brooks for mentioning it. Who's the bigot? Damn you people. Oh my God. I believe Karen too. Ziggy cannot discount anything she's saying. She wasn't there. She wasn't there.
We talked about where you were on the 15th, when and how you heard about Summer. I think we talked about that. You were at work. Did you get the Amber Alert?
I got a endangered child alert first. And then later on, I got the Amber Alert. I think that was like in early hours of the morning when I got the Amber Alert.
And then 5 days later is when you actually went. Can you tell us about your mother's funeral and who was there?
Well, Fred wasn't there. Laura wasn't there.
At your mother's funeral?
At your mother?
Why wouldn't Fred and Laura go to his mother's funeral? Why were the hospice workers, the home health staff, why were they scared to be there alone with Fred? Why? You can tell this woman, Karen, is just a tad bit traumatized. Okay?
There's funeral?
Or the funeral. No. My sister was there.
Where was he at the time of her funeral?
I don't know.
Was he in jail?
No, but he sent Chad.
Another
one
Hold
of
on.
Chad's buddies. I guess one of Fred's buddies.
Hold on, guys. So he's asking if you were at your mom's funeral, and they're making a okay.
These two.
He's saying how you sent Chad.
Did you say that?
I'm assuming they're talking about Chad Arnold, and why would you send that pedo meth head piece of shit in your place to your own mama's funeral? Okay? I'm asking you a question. How could that happen? Stand by your man.
What else more could you say? You've done called him a murderer. You've done called him a child predator. You've done insinuated this shit. The worst of the worst. What more could you do? You're in a hate group every day. What more could you fucking do? You're part of calling probations, calling like family, like being part of that agenda. Please, what more could you do besides kill us? Is that what you're trying to do? Is make us like hurt ourselves?
Yeah.
Or have some kind of mental break?
Well, she's not talking about Ziggy because Ziggy is not part of the Summerwells case, even though she has injected herself into it. Hell, she's married to a suspect. Okay. But when you say something like, are you trying to, I'm just going to say this in YouTube terms. Let's pretend like we're on Sesame Street. Okay. I'll be Elmo. Just imagine Elmo and my annoying voice. When you lay something that deep on someone saying, so you're going to force us to hurt ourselves. That's a lot. And that's a very insane thing to say. And that statement right there, if she had any real friends, someone has her address. Somebody would have clipped that and sent it to the police. Somebody would have put her in a hospital to make sure she is not acidital, if you know what I mean. Okay? Where are all her friends? Where are they? Where'd they go? It's manipulation. It's narcissistic. It's psycho behavior. It's sociopathic. When you try to put that on someone saying, you're going to force me to harm myself. And nobody, and plenty of people listened. Plenty of people listened. Okay? Because like she said, it's a new way to do YouTube. No. You shut down your channel because you're scared shitless about Ryan Fine's truth. You know he's not fucking with you in your threats, and that's not something you're used to. And I can tell you right now, my lips to God's ears, I don't have any problem with Ziggy. She doesn't wake me up at night. She doesn't even cross my mind. But when I see things like this, it is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, look at that. Nana for Life said, wait, what? I'm just joining. According to Ziggy on Fred's channel, because Ziggy took her channel down, she says that she's about to be forced to harm herself. And I think that's gross. Listen again.
Schizophrenia. Must learn in family because, man, woman, you are fucking nuts.
Woo!
Do I have any say-so in your life, Ryan? Do I pay your bills?
God, that guy is such a clown.
I do anything?
Keep gaining
Do
weight,
you receive
Ryan.
anything from me? No. Okay, so that means my opinion don't mean shit, right? Okay, but if I was paying your bills, paying your house payment, yes, paying your car payment, your insurance, buying your groceries, I would have pretty much every right in the world to have an opinion in whatever the fuck you were doing, right? If I was having to fund it, right?
Yeah.
She's trying to say your mom was funding your life.
My
Basically.
mom didn't fund my life like that.
Like he has got, him and Laura had disability, like plenty of money with disability together with very low bills. Like it wasn't that difficult.
Oh, they were on disability with very little bills. It wasn't that difficult. Oh my God, I really don't have many bills. Put a 1 in chat if you want to pay my motherfucking bills. Are you kidding me? She acts like it's no big deal that Karen was paying their bills. Well, they have disability, so, and little bills, so it wasn't that big a deal. That wasn't much to do, really. Okay? Are you serious? So you have disability and very little bills. Why were you using your disability for Met? You know what I'm talking about. And having Karen pay your bills. Come on now. Who's raising your kids, Fred? Laura. You prom queen of the holler? Who's raising your kids?
Only way Mom funded my life, if I asked her for money, most times she would hand me so much product to go get rid of to make that money. It wasn't never cash, Lori.
Yeah, so it was substances to sell.
Okay, so that was the.
So he's saying that his mother, okay, I know I heard that, did not give him money, and Ziggy jumps in and says, no, it was substances to sell. Are we supposed to pat them on the back for infiltrating America's youth with substances that can kill them? Are we supposed to go pat them on the back? And if you think I believe that old lady was giving him drugs to sell, no, I do not believe that. Hey, and everything I hear about in this case with people is nice person, nice person, nice person, nice person, nice person. I'm sure they're nice. I'm sure they are. But this is some sick-ass behavior.
Relationship between Mom and Fred. If she was funding every aspect in his life, she felt like she had an opinion and a right to have one, justifiably so. But yet Fred
No,
doesn't
she's
see it that way.
obsessive just like you are.
Yeah, like obsessive like you, lady. And Nana for Life. Nana for Life's another obsessive one, and so is Ryan. You guys have.
Here we go again. Ziggy picking on my friend, Nana for Life. She calls her obsessed. I have talked to Nana for Life many, many times. Do you know how many times she has brought up Fred or Ziggy? It's a nice round number. They have a candy bar made after it. It's called 0. They rent no space in her mind. To be quite honest, some of these people are so badass, I'm not going to pick anyone out. And I mean, particularly like, what's her name? Jeanette, the pet protector, Mama Bear. She's trying to talk Candace Wells and Dawn into suing me. I welcome that. I welcome that. Do you know why? Because Discovery would kick their ass. Okay? They would have to answer to the questions I have had on this channel.
Are like bad, like cross addiction problems here, like obsessive, major obsession. Nana for Life gets fired from her job because she couldn't help but use personal computers to look up information on people. My guess is she was looking up information on Fred and probably myself too. And this guy right here has become obsessed with Fred to the degree he's also in every hate chat every fucking night.
Every fucking night. Hate chats. Oh my God. She takes down her channel. Her and Fred start a channel. And they won't answer for what his sister said, which I think believes, listen to me. Whew, I'm all fired up. I believe has a lot to do with the disappearance of Summer Wells.
Obsessing over Fred and myself every night. Look at this guy. That guy right there.
Whew.
He's literally in a freaking hate group every night with Fred's sister. Every night. So is Nana for Life a lot of the times.
In reincarnation,
These three hang out in hate chats, freaking talking shit about us every day of their lives.
would want to come back as a Southern woman.
Do we do that to them?
Because
No, we don't give a fuck about them. And
So you've indicated. So you've indicated, Ziggy. So you've indicated. But you took down your channel and you made a whole new channel called Fred and Ziggy. Okay, that's what it's called. Let me look at it. I'll find the real title. Hang on. Take it off full screen. Oh, 210 subscribers. It's called Fred Hill. And the title is a Royal Tony winner. Fred and Ziggy sit down to respond to the hurtful hate and lies said by his sister Karen. Well, I think that's a little bit more important than someone playing damage control, because that didn't work out at all. And I am not playing the whole thing because Ryan did very hard work on this. Go give him a sub. Give him a like and listen to it on his channel. It's only fair. And, well, we all know I'm a very fair person. I do all I can.
Yeah, when they were there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So they considered it an unsafe environment.
For even them. Yeah.
Have you ever called the authorities and just reported this whole scenario?
No, I haven't.
Why?
I guess I got discouraged with how the hospital acted toward me trying to get answers for Mom.
Dismissive?
Very dismissive.
Okay.
They didn't want to deal with it.
They went, and they didn't want to. Obviously, they weren't suspicious enough to report it.
Apparently not, and I was specifically asking for Adult Protective Services to be brought in.
Only the paramedics had gone and examined there.
Adult Protective Services, I can only speak for it in the state of New York. I'm going to tell you, they suck. They have to have like a full dementia diagnosis before they will get into the middle of some rughead stealing money from his mama. And I'm not going to mention any names. I'm sure you can put the puzzle together yourself.
They're at the, I'm going to call it a crime scene. It sounds like a crime scene to me.
Does me too.
Police never went in the house to examine anything.
No.
That's just wild.
No.
And the bag that he was walking around with, putting stuff in, she never found it. Julie never found it. You never found it.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what he took, why he took it.
We're going to move on to another topic, or other topics. Is it true you were told about a book bag being found by a friend at some point?
A backpack.
Okay. Where
Yeah.
was that?
That was about 5 days after Summer had gone missing. They had opened the holler back up for traffic to come and go without checking.
If I need to rewind anything, please let me know, but this is really important. Just out of the blue, a book bag was found. I'm going to assume it's more of a backpack, since actually they had been getting things together for Summer to go to school. And then when she said when the holler was finally back open. So for people that have those questions, let's just explain something. They shut everything down. They shut down all the roadways. If you guys remember Muscles and Mascara, she comes back around here and there because she's working out in the field now. So she's listening to us. Just say hi. No, she said it was impossible to get around the Beach Creek area. Jenny. That's my Jenny. We're like keys and parrots. Do you think Fred was involved in Summer going missing? Wouldn't be surprised at this juncture.
Vehicles or anything. And I had rode, Julia needed to take Mom some groceries and stuff. And I had rode down there with her to help her. And when we got up there, we unloaded everything. Mom wanted me and Julie to ride up Fred's and check her mailbox and just see how Fred was, see if Fred was there, see how he was.
When was this?
5 days after Summer went missing.
Just 5 days after Summer went missing. Okay.
Yeah. And so we ride up there. Of course, we pull up to the camper before we check the mailbox because we wanted him to know who we were and why we were there because it was getting dark.
Okay.
And me and Julie both were standing in the driveway, and Fred was standing there talking to us, and he was very concerned and worried, felt like he was being set up. He said that he had found a backpack at the top of his driveway, I guess on up from where we parked, that had, he said, drug making paraphernalia in it. I don't know what that means.
Did you see the backpack? Did he show it to you?
No.
Or the backpack?
No.
He just told you what was in it.
He just said that he had found that, and I said, I just made the comment, well, I hope he just turned it over to the police then. And I don't remember what he said about that.
Did he found it outside or in the house?
It was outside in the driveway.
In the drive. It's like somebody had dropped it.
Like somebody had just set it up there or something. He said it didn't belong to him, and he didn't understand where it came from.
Well, what was in the backpack? We all know what we've been looking for. There's a few items of Summer's that were on her June 15th that are never mentioned. Candace was at Fred's house. She saw Chad Arnold. She saw Laura. What was in the backpack, genius? Did you just brag to your sister about this? Or when the police came to question you many times, why didn't you mention all of these oddities?
Okay.
And he also mentioned that he found some little girl's clothes in an old washing machine outside on the property somewhere, and he felt like somebody had put them there. And again, I said, well, I hope you told somebody. I hope you turned it in or whatever. And I don't know if he did.
Have you seen the clothes that you talking about? Okay, he just claimed he found little girl's clothes in the washing machine outside. So 5 days after Summer disappeared, he's claiming people are trying to set him up, and he's finding things on the property. Did your father at any point in their past, were they into drugs? Did they sell drugs at any point?
Not in the capacity that Fred wants people to think.
Okay.
They had chronic illnesses with chronic pain, and they did go, their family doctor had them going to a pain management doctor.
Okay.
So
this is more common than you know. This is more common than you know. When you have an adult child that is, and I'm not saying that I know, I'm not saying this goes on in this bungalow, okay? That is addicted to drugs, okay? And I mean street corner pharmacist drugs, not the stuff from Walgreens, okay, that you get with an electronic prescription. But it's very common for drug addicted adults, believe it or not. They'll go through mom's purse, they'll go through dad's drawers, and they'll find anything that'll give them some kind of high. Okay? So when he's talking about how his parents were drug addicted, she's sitting there saying, and she has no reason to lie, she's saying, no, they went to pain management. Okay, now this is interesting because Fred's telling her all these things. Found this strange backpack. What was in it? We don't know. Little girl's clothes in an old washing machine. What is so odd about that is that story changed And he said it was Brad Wishon. Remember the guy that was raising money for a billboard and the billboard was never put up? Then he went and had Mexican food with Dawn, and they worked on the Suburban, and then she sold it to her friend Kathy for $1,000 so she could get through the summer. That's what I'm talking about. Let me take you down memory lane.
Listen, that stupid, beautiful sunflower somehow is in my chat, came in my chat, and somebody gifted her a membership. Please block her. I've got her blocked where I can't see her. But if you see her in my chat, block
If you were
that.
smart, if you were really smart, you'd block me.
And 120 acres. I don't want none of those people over here. Molly, and I don't believe for a minute
Now,
that Molly
Molly
didn't try to buy my information.
Molly is just
I
an
believe when
ally.
Chilbilly said that. I believe
Molly
Chilbilly.
is an ally to someone. So
Brad
I don't
has
like it. I
involvement
don't
in
like
pink
subjects
outfit
either, but I
was
try not to be
found
rude
his garage in the muddy
unless I have
mud.
to. And I
No,
yes,
we're
I did get
talking
tired
about
of
he
Ronald.
made me blow the
And I
money.
went over there. Also,
Really,
yes, who
Lori?
was there? Ronald.
And how do you know this, Lori?
And he said, "Why don't you?
Are you
why don't
serious?
whatever.
Your outfit was found?
Why don't you whatever to him?" I said,
Lori,
"This is not my territory. I am a guest,
is
Ronald.
that true?
I'm a guest.
I'm about to buy me a new membership. Mine
This is
ran
not my
out.
territory.
Uh,
I don't have the right to knock
whenever
people
you
off.
can. You don't
If
have
I
to be in a
could.
hurry to do that, honey. Is that true that Summer's pink outfit was found near this Brad guy's garage?
Excuse me?
She said, somebody come in here and said that Summer's pink outfit that she was wearing that day was found near Brad's garage. Who is Brad?
Brad Wishon.
Uh-huh. But now Karen is saying little girls' clothes were found on Fred's property or somewhere in the vicinity, and they were in an old washing machine. Now, why would Fred be looking into an old washing machine at all? At all.
They were prescribed pain medication on a monthly basis and had been for several years. They did sell pills, but it wasn't an operation. It wasn't, a drive-through service, or, they wasn't getting their whole, going to getting prescriptions, pain prescriptions.
For freaking real, Cocoa Pop. She said, I just love when Sherry and Daisy have two different conversations at the same time. Yeah, you're talking about finding Summer's clothes. Sherry's talking about biscuits and gravy. Daisy can't find her dictionary to figure out what the hell is going on. At least she wasn't given medical advice. Ooh, my mouse is upset. BS, they were selling one way or another. Stop justifying it. Woo. Woo.
Filled and selling them as quick as they got them or anything like that. They would sell a few here and there to get money. And is basically, they both drew Social Security. Dad did not have a retirement fund. He didn't have money in the bank. They had nothing to fall back on. If anything happened, there was no reserve.
You grew up there.
Yeah.
The three of you,
Mhm.
sister, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So you witnessed a lot of this, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so this is firsthand.
Yeah.
Okay.
As adults, me and Julie, we got married, had jobs.
Ooh. Caller number 7 is on the line to Boston Moms that, as we know, we have a new holiday for her because she agreed with everything I said yesterday. Is that the guy Benny had Mexican food with too? I don't know. I just remember when Dawn was talking to Prayer Garden, and it was Benny that revealed that and brought it up and said, oh no, this is a big deal that you took that billboard money and then you went and had Mexican food with, Brad with Sean. You fixed up the Suburban and then it gets sold to Kathy. And yeah, I remember Benny having Mexican food out in Tennessee and swimming, and he slipped in dog shit. Oh my gosh, it was like one thing after another.
Yada yada. Fred got married, had a kid, had a job for a very short period of time, but then after that, in his early 20s, he did odd jobs. He didn't work an actual tax-paying job. He would do odd jobs. He would shoe horses. He would do this. He would do that. But, nothing that would pay a bill that was to support habit.
What was his one job?
The one time that I knew that he did work a tax-paying job, he was a heavy equipment operator.
Okay. For a construction company, or?
Yeah.
Okay. And you did that for how long?
A couple of years, I'm thinking.
That was his only job ever?
To the best of my knowledge, that was his only tax-paying job that he's ever had.
Did he ever do any other work for a company or a organization or for the town or for?
No, I mean, like I said, he had odd jobs. He would shoe horses. If somebody.
Poor lady, because you know what it means. Please don't make me say the words. When someone says, only had one tax-paying job. Whoa. Wow. Again, don't make me say the words. Only had one tax-paying job. Chocolate-covered pickle, thanks for not blocking me here. Why would we do that, Boo? You're my favorite chocolate pickle.
They needed mowing or weed eating done. He would do that. I remember, it's been a few decades ago, he worked at the Staples at Warriors Path.
Was it a paycheck type job or just odd job?
That was an odd job. That was an under the table odd job.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a lot of different odd jobs. He was all, which eventually turned into scrapping and, getting junk and hauling it to the scrap yards and to make a little bit of money. Mom and Dad, Mom in particular, she helped Fred a lot. She would pay his bills. She would give him money. She kept him fed. She kept him clothed. Fred done odd jobs. He never held down a full-time job. If he had needs, he went to Mom and Dad. I helped him. Julie's helped him. The whole family has helped him his whole life in one aspect or another.
Do you know roughly when the drug stuff started?
I mean, you've heard him talk about getting in trouble in high school for the marijuana. Okay. He got kicked out of Cherokee. He went to volunteer and enrolled in order to be able to graduate. He did graduate from high school. After that is when he married his first wife, and they were having problems. That's when he was.
Listen carefully. There is a lot of enabling mothers on Ben Hill Road. Fred's mama is not the only one. Don't get me going on Dawn's mama that deeded her house to Clyda Trent, and then Clyda Trent had deeded it to Dawn. Don't get me going on old Jody Sue and Andy. Okay? Well taken care of by people that can barely rub two dimes together because they're on Social Security. Ooh, makes me so mad.
Married to his first wife, and his first daughter was when he was working the heavy equipment operator job.
Okay.
And that lasted a couple of years, and their marriage started falling apart. But he had started doing pills at that time.
Actually, was it around the time that he lost that job for whatever reason or quit it that the pill stuff was coming up? That the marriage was getting rocky.
Yeah, it was all pretty much the same time.
Well, if he started doing pills at that time when he started running heavy equipment, I think we can all deduce why he's not driving heavy equipment now, because they randomly drug test you. Okay? You can't have anything classified in your system. Not going to happen. None of that stuff.
Him and his first wife were on pills quite a bit, and after they split up, he was on pills for quite a few years before he.
Are we talking about Laura?
No, we're talking about his first wife.
I didn't know he had a first wife. Tina?
And that's who he had his first daughter with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they lived in, I believe it was Sirgoinsville at that time. That's where the Habitat for Humanity house was built for them. I drove from Fort Blackmore, Virginia to Sirgoinsville, Tennessee every day.
I have about had it with Habitat for Humanity. I'm telling you, some of the least deserving people on the fucking planet have gotten free homes from them. They do not vet properly. Please do not forget, Gypsy Rose and her mama had a Habitat for Humanity house. I'm not going to take anything away from the good ones, but one after another gets it. That is a POS.
I'd get up early, drive my kids to school, drive to Sirgoinsville, and help with the Habitat for Humanity house every day. I helped build that house.
Did he lose custody at any point when they split?
They both did.
They both lost.
Eventually, they both did.
Why?
I do know, and I don't want to elaborate on it, but it was on both sides, and she was placed in foster care.
Okay. Did him and Laura have a child?
They had 2 children.
2 children.
She had a daughter from before she met Fred.
Okay. I'm having an issue with the editing. It's getting a little too chopped up for me, so I have to talk to, sort out my brain. All right, so right now I'm hearing 3 kids. 1 with Tina, 2 with Laura. Where are Fred's kids? What is Fred doing to nurture, love, and take care of his children? Or who is doing it for him? Okay? So as people cheer on Fred, ask yourself this. Would you let Fred raise your granddaughter? Would you want to have a child with Fred? Listen, that's the backbone of any adult human being that has a child. We take care of our children, even when they don't want us to. All right, soapbox down. Hit the like.
And then they had 2 children together. Fred had a daughter, Laura had a daughter, and then they had a daughter and son while together.
Did he ever lose custody of those children or any rights to those children?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Yes.
Can you share?
Well, that stemmed from the incident in Virginia. He put a gun to my sister's chest when he shot through the house, and he did like 3 or 4 months jail time for that. I would like to make it clear that this is not my story, that I am repeating what Julie told me.
From Julie, okay.
So I'm not lying about a situation. I'm repeating what Julie told me.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Because I have heard him say that I'm a liar.
Yeah.
He's not calling me a liar. He's calling his sister a liar in her accounts of the event. Okay, things had got pretty bad up there, and Julie was going to try to leave. First, she was up there at the request of Mom to help Fred and Laura with their children. It had got pretty crazy. We'll just call it crazy. And she wanted to leave. And she had found out that one of Fred's children was going to school with pills.
Okay.
Of Fred's. She had went to the same school. Her daughter was going to the same school at that time, and she had went to that school to unenroll her daughter because she was coming back to Tennessee. The principal pulled Julie aside and had a conversation with her about the other child that was bringing drugs to school. and let her know that DCS had already been contacted. So when she left there, she went to Fred's back to tell him. She said, I felt like I at least needed to let him know what was going on. She said that was my intentions. I went in the house. He was laying in bed.
No way would I let my cat OJ or my granddaughter around that hot mess. No way in hell. And to think before the Zigster took her channel down, her and Fred, the newlywed, Fred said, did a show about how they plan to adopt Dawn and Candace's oldest son. Can you say turd in a punch bowl? Can you say fart at Target? That's how that would go down.
And she said I was trying to talk to him, and I was telling him what that about DCS and all that. She said, I promised Karen I was standing there with my car keys in my hand. She said I had my pocketbook and my car keys. She said he comes out of that bed with a gun and puts it in her chest. And she said, all I could do, Karen, was just hold my hands up and say, Fred, it's me, it's Julie, it's me. Please don't kill me. She was begging for her freaking life.
Did he not say a word when he did this? He just jumped up and put a gun in her chest.
Yes. This is her tale, not mine.
Okay.
But she tells me this, with tears in her eyes, trying to explain to me. And she said at that time, Laura was standing right beside her, holding the 1-year-old son when this was happening. And she said Fred turns around, shoots into the corner of the room, jumps back in bed, and covers up. And Julie tells Laura, get the baby out of the house. Laura takes off and runs out the one door. Julie runs out the other one.
This is a lot. This is a lot. And I want to say thank you very much to Kiki 2025 True Crime. People can have kids but not take care of them, then get everything free. Makes me so mad. I'm telling you. And on top of that, we've got Angel P, who I think fell on the send memberships button, and I'm loving every minute of it. Get your umbrellas. I think Karen and Julie have seen a lot in their life. I really do.
And that he was due to inherit everything. And that's when Ziggy went online on one of her lives and said that Fred, everything down there was Fred's. He was the executor. And that if something happened and Fred didn't get it, that she would make damn sure that no, these are her words, no fucking body gets it. So I figured if her and Fred had it figured out.
Well, now, I don't quite understand why Ziggy would be part of any estate compromise. Okay? Karen has no reason to lie. She's lived this. And there's paperwork to back it up. If you want to call her a liar, it's very easy to see if you just look it up. I just want to know why the Zigster, who's all about Summer Wells, goes down to Rogersville, Tennessee with her daughter, gets a 3-week-old dog and starts hanging out with Fred, and then marries him. There's got to be something going on there. There's got to be something that no one can publicly say out loud, or they're too embarrassed to, what's really going on. It's not love. So what is it? Drugs or money? She just married the old boy. in a t-shirt and jeans. And then thought she was going to step into someone's estate.
That since he was executor over the estate and they knew what the house payments were, that they could handle that, and they were good that he can have it. So I just stopped in my tracks what I was doing. I stopped making payments. I stopped communicating with the bank. I stopped everything because Ziggy and Fred had that bull by the horns.
And how long before it got auctioned off?
3 months.
3 months. It got auctioned off. Was he on any paperwork as an executor of the property?
No.
Any will?
No.
There's no will?
There's no will.
Oh.
There's nothing. That's why I had to file that paper with the court in order to just talk to the bank.
Interesting.
Okay, and by the way, this show is not about Ziggy at all. But if you have followed her when she had her channel up, you would know that the same thing was done when her boyfriend Jim passed away. And his sisters went after her with a vengeance. Okay? And I'm very glad that Fred is sober and only has a few more years in drug court. Good deal. Good deal. I do wonder about the children involved. I do wonder about all the children involved.
What about the other property?
It's still in limbo. Nobody has
Are you making
probate.
payments on that one? Or?
There was no payments to be made. It was Mom owned that free and clear. It still has to be probated. Dad's estate still has to be probated. I thought probated nothing.
Okay.
The bank sold it.
The one that's not auctioned off currently, it's paid off. It's just sitting there. Nobody can take it.
Mom paid cash for it.
Okay.
All that has to be paid yearly on that is the property taxes.
Do you pay that?
No, I don't.
You know.
No. I would assume Julie does. Or if Fred thinks it's his, I'm assuming him and Ziggy is paying for it. But I'm not paying for it.
Who's on the title?
Mom, because it's not been probated.
It hasn't been probated. Okay. Had you or Julie at any point gone into either property searching?
I did.
So you guys were looking for what?
Well, on Fred's property, or on 207 where Fred was living at the camper, I was looking to recover Dad's property that he had stolen, put up there. Just anything that he had stolen, taken from Dad's.
Oh, from the other. I get it. He alleged that you stole money while doing that search. Is that true?
No. If I had money, I wouldn't be working.
No money was found
No.
during the whole search?
I found a big gallon-sized bag of homegrown weed that even the law left there because it was so nasty.
Okay. Did you steal any SD cards?
There was no SD cards.
Either property, there was no SD cards. Were you also just, I mean, you knew what had happened this summer in the back of your mind. Were you guys also looking for any evidence?
Yeah, I was kind of, while I was doing, I did have a lot of the junk hauled off of 207 because Julie had gave me the paperwork from the health department where they had filed a complaint and fined Fred. I forget how much they fined him because the vehicles were on the road. There was stuff going into the water.
I saw that.
And all that. So what I did was I hired a gentleman to come down there and haul off anything that was along the creek, any motor blocks or transmissions, anything that could possibly leak oil onto the ground or wash down into the creek so it wouldn't be
Don't make me say the word. What the hell are you doing putting effing car parts in the creek? Motor blocks? Transmissions? Don't make me say it. Please, don't make me say it. Oh, I've seen that before.
concern. That's the stuff that I had him haul out of there.
So the truth is you were there looking for any of your dad's property that might have been taken off of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And anything to
and
do with
in the
summer.
meantime, you know, walking around, because, you know, they were on YouTube talking about septic tanks.
Yep.
And just different things. So of course I know where the old septic tank was, up there on 207. So we look in.
Like Boston said, we all live downstream. Yeah. Guess what? Guess what the number one question is? If you became a plumber journeyman, which way does shit roll? It doesn't go uphill.
It. I videoed in it. It's
You did
clean.
video this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, we videoed in it and everything, but you know, the new septic tank on 207, I had no way of checking it. I don't even know where the lid's at. I mean, you know what I mean?
Is that the one with the iron pipe sticking up?
I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Did you ever see any cameras at Fred's?
I seen there was one when me and Julie first went up there after he went to jail. There was one, if you pull up in his driveway and you park facing the camper, right behind where your vehicle in the woods, there was a camera. And I don't know where it was at. I just know that it had to be there because when we stuck our head in the door, this is when Fred still had the electricity hooked up. Illegally, but hooked up nonetheless. There was a TV with the picture of the camper on the TV screen.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So he said he had that set up for his drug business, so he'd know when somebody was at his house.
Okay.
But other than that, other than knowing that one camera was there, that's the only one that I seen. I didn't see no trail cams. I didn't.
Hey everyone, Grace is Kiki's mama. Can we please welcome Grace to the channel and remind her to be here every day because she's super cool? Facts, Cindy Lou Who. I hope when Hawkins County has their election next month, I think it is on, well, Nana for Life can tell us. I don't know if she's in here right now. That Roddy Miller, he's ready to rock and roll and he's ready to turn it upside down. He has already said he wants to start with the Summer Wells case. I have no objections. I just can't vote there.
See any other cameras. There was no SD cards anywhere, but he needs to understand that Laura had been there for days before she went to jail, for like a week or two before she went to jail, hauling stuff out of there.
I heard you kicked Laura off the property.
When Fred went to jail, me and Julie both went to Dad's mom's house at 165, and Laura was there. They didn't have permission to live there. They had just moved in there, unbeknownst to us. I guess, well, I don't know. He had that electricity hooked up illegal too, because there wasn't supposed to be no power there. We left. We called Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and told them that they sent a cop out. We told him the situation. He himself, that officer, gave Laura 5 days to get her stuff and go back to the camper because we told him they've had permission to live at the camper. They did not have permission to live at 165.
And who was with you when this happened?
Julie.
Who?
Julie.
Julie was with you?
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, I wasn't by myself.
Fred.
He gave her 5 days. So on the 5th day, me and Julie both came back to Dad's property. And when we pulled up, Laura was there. She was loading stuff into a trailer. Pete Clark was there with the trailer behind his vehicle, and Laura had it loaded with a lot of stuff. And I can only imagine that's not the first load because she had already had 5 days to haul stuff out there.
Well, Laura's a piece of shit. I will say she knows how to use filters. She does good with those. Janaka, thank you for the 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Who got them? 2 Boston moms said, Brooks, I think it's highly possible that Summer was left with the boys after the swim hole. Candace left with Hunter. Grandis was asleep and an accident occurred with the boys. Hey, look, I discount anything. I'm sorry, I don't discount anything when it comes to this case, except that she wandered off.
You're afraid she was taking stuff that wasn't even hers.
Oh, she took a
Or abducted.
lot of stuff that wasn't hers. A lot of stuff that was mom and dad's. She took anything of value that Fred had when it comes to tools or power equipment, stuff like that. If she took, she said herself, the day that she ended up getting arrested, she was heading to Church Hill to sell Fred's tools.
When you did do the search at Fred's, did you find anything at all that you had to turn into TBI or law enforcement?
Yes, I did. There was a what appeared to be 2 tarps layered on each other, a blue one on the outside, a silver one on the inside, and they had been pulled up into a bundle about this big and put in a ravine. And I didn't know what it was. I just pulled it open and it was ashes fell out.
Ashes?
It was like someone had cleaned out a stove or a burn pit or a burn barrel or something. It's ashes.
Were there particles in it of any kind? Or?
There was, like loose trash that hadn't burnt, like cans and things like that. And I had took a stick and I had pulled it loose to, just because I was curious, why would someone bundle up ashes in the country? You throw that stuff and let the rain take it away.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. If you burn something in a barrel, you put it on your garden. It's great fertilizer. Or you use it for mulch, and like she said, the rain takes it away. What was specific about these ashes that they were so protective over? Like Carly said, she just got gone, buddy.
Oh, curiosity got the best of me. So I took a stick and I pulled through it a little bit, and a big wad of hair came out.
No.
And it was on a stick. Say, this is the stick. The hair came down on both sides about that.
You tell? I guess you couldn't tell
And
color if it was burned.
It was color.
ICU said, I was done with Ziggy when she went after Nana for life. Yeah, that was terrible. And doxed Ryan's kids. Nope, that is, and it looks like a dog turd, but it's not white. And I don't dox anyone, okay? No one. I don't tell where anyone lives, okay? I do know, this is between me and 311 of you, that I have been invited to ICU's permanent residence in Lake Tahoe, and she's actually changed the lake into saltwater, and it's amazing, and I can't wait to go. And Nana has done a lot for this case, and when Ziggy and Fred started messing with her and threatening to sue her, that got to be a little much for me. Okay. There's a lot of people in this case I don't agree with. But guess what I'm not going to do? What those 2 skid marks did. And they are skid marks. Doing that to children and to Nana for life.
Covered in ashes.
Okay.
But it was blonde hair.
It was. You could tell it was blonde hair.
Yes.
Curly, straight
Blonde hair.
So then you obviously called the law enforcement.
And yes, I called law enforcement. TBI came. Well, I called the TBI.
Okay, good.
And the first guy that came out, I walked him up and I showed him what we had found and he came back down with us while he was waiting on another TBI agent to show up.
Was anybody with you when this happened?
My 2 sons.
Okay, so they witnessed this too.
Yeah. And when the second TBI agent pulled up, the only part of the conversation that I heard was the first agent told the second agent, it's definitely human hair, and we've got a huge problem.
Really?
And that was the end of what I heard them say because I walked away. By that time, a couple of Hawkins County investigators had pulled up. So they had went and talked with each other, and I asked them, I said, is there any need for me to be here? If not, I want to leave.
Why did you want to leave so bad?
Why would I want to stay?
You were afraid it was...
I knew it wasn't Summer because when she went missing, she didn't have long hair. But why would I want to stay?
Did they collect the evidence?
Yes.
Did they search any other areas?
I don't know because they told me that it was okay for me to leave, that they would contact me if they needed to talk with me. And I left them my information and I left.
We'll take a break.
Yeah.
Okay. We've covered anything you found at Fred's that you called TBI about, and that was pretty shocking. We talked about where you were on the 15th, when and how you heard about Summer. I think we talked about that. You were at work. Did you get the Amber Alert?
I got a endangered child alert first, and then later on I got the Amber Alert. I think that was like in early hours of the morning when I got the Amber Alert.
And then 5 days later is when you actually went. Can you tell us about your mother's funeral and who was there?
Well, Fred wasn't there. Laura wasn't there.
At your mother's funeral?
He never even came to the hospital or the funeral. No. My sister was there.
Where was he at the time of her funeral?
I don't know.
Was he in jail?
No, but he sent Chad and another one of Chad's buddies, I guess one of...
Okay, we already heard this. Okay, so everyone's asking about the blonde hair, the blonde hair, the blonde hair, the blonde hair. We all know that Summer's hair was, she was shaved. Okay, she was shaved. Well, the hair that was on her head when it was shaved, I believe that's the hair that Karen found in the barrel. I suggest you don't try this at home. Leave your hair alone. Okay? Leave your hair alone. Don't even try to light it on fire. Because Summer was basically scalped. Okay? Her hair was taken somewhere. It is not a coincidence that the TBI has said that all their forensics there were clear. Didn't even find a hair. So what Karen is discussing here is when Summer got shaved down to the scalp, that's what was being burnt. Because when Fred realized Summer was missing, he knew he had that out there. So he lit him a fire.
Fred's buddies too, to Mom's funeral.
Did you
In
say
his
that
place.
again? Who did he send?
He sent Chad
Chad who?
Arnold.
How do you know?
Okay,
How do you know he's the one who sent Chad?
Because Chad Arnold said so.
He did. Sent someone in his place at his mother's.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't think that counts.
I don't think that's how it works. But, okay, now I understand the question. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. We may have to dive into this one because I heard the story. Do you remember Laura's reaction to Cotton Simpson's death? Can you tell us that story?
I know what I was told by Mom and by Julie on separate occasions. And they both told me the same story, that Mom and Julie both were there at the house and Laura was in the kitchen on her phone. And all of a sudden she starts screaming, "They found him, they found him, they found him." And she was crying, having a full-blown panic attack. and just tore all to pieces. And all she kept repeating was, "Oh my God, they found him." And she ran out of the house and went to the barn where Fred was at to tell him.
Okay, hold on. The Paul Hour says hair burns quickly, so please help me understand why the hair wasn't burnt. Partially it was, partially it wasn't. And when you have absolutely natural hair that hasn't been all lilt permed up in 1987 and dyed at the roots so you don't go gray, when there's absolutely nothing synthetic on it, it takes a lot longer to burn. I saw that on the forensic files. So please do not disagree with my genius. And you know who you are. 2 Boston moms.
She came back in the house after that and had calmed down some. And then Fred came in the house and she said that Fred's only comment was, "Well, I figured somebody would get him for that money when he left."
She said what?
She said that they both told me that Fred commented that I knew somebody would get Cotton for his money.
Help me understand this. Laura said she had met Cotton how many times? I think it was just 3 times.
According to her words, just a few times, 2 or 3 times.
And he what?
And on her interview, she said that he gave her the creeps. She felt like he was undressing her with his eyes, and she didn't want nothing to do with him.
So why would you get so upset?
That's the part that I don't understand.
Her reaction to you felt not usual. Like there was something really unusual about how she was reacting to his death.
Especially with Mom and Julie both on different occasions telling me the same story. Originally, I didn't think too much of it because I didn't know how she felt about Cotton. But then she did that interview on YouTube, and she said that she had only seen him a few times. She hadn't spoke to him. She didn't know nothing about him, that she didn't like him. He gave her the creeps. And then, that just did not correspond with the reaction that she gave when she seen on social media that Cotton had been found.
Right. Do you know? Did she tell anybody, or do you guys know, did she say that she was there when Cotton? Because I know a few hours before, Cotton had been at his place to pick up some drugs or something.
All I know is what she said on the YouTube interview was that Cotton had come to talk to Fred about buying a boat. And she said that he had talked to Fred something about summer wells. And she asked Fred what he said, and Fred told her that she didn't need to know.
It was about summer wells.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
And then that he wouldn't tell her because she didn't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And that he was always protecting her, and he always did that.
But it doesn't. Okay. The other stories we're hearing don't match that at all. What we hear from.
No.
Okay. One more question, and then we'll kind of close out with some just open whatever. What was your thought when you first heard what Fred's bond was and why it was so high?
Well, my first thought was, who did he kill? It ended up being $25,000.
$25,000. So your first thought was, who did
But
he?
originally, when it came up on Mobile Patrol, and it gives a list.
Okay, so I'm just going to assume, because I do not know the story, so someone would have to educate me. $25,000. So 10%. Who bailed Fred out? And I'm going to go ahead and make it clear. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't think Fred did anything to Summer. I don't. I think he was a pawn in someone's game. Okay? So please do not think I'm doing this show to rag on Ziggy or Fred. Okay? I do think that there were some items put at Fred's house for someone to cover for themselves. Okay? I mean, Candace was at his house that day. She had a long conversation with Chad Arnold. She was seen at a gas station at 5:30, hurried. Okay? Hurried. after washing her hands. Now, is Fred what I would call a salt of the earth dude? No. Am I glad he's doing better in life? Yes, absolutely. We don't want any sickos in society. Do I think he's overreacting to his sister? Well, I can't judge that. She's not my sister. If I was his sister, I would be very resentful too for all the help she has given him. And the only payback is starting a YouTube channel to talk shit about her. I mean, that's a breakdown in a fabric.
It did state his charge, but it stated a bond of $250,000. That is murder charge bond.
That is murder charge.
So
Zachary Lowe just got that bond for murder.
Right.
Charge. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So automatically.
Well, that's funny. Misunderstood. Laura was comfortable taking all of Cotton's cigarettes before he was found and moving his car. That's one person no one talks about. And they also don't really even talk about how tight Laura and Candace were at the time. But at this point, all Candace has is ex-friends. And, well, she FaceTimes Mama Bear every night, and they talk about who they're going to sue, which I wish someone would reach out to me, because I would go ahead and give them the $140 to sue me here in Oklahoma and get on with it.
Why wouldn't I think it was more than a drug charge? So me and Julie goes down to 165 the next day, and Laura's there, and we're asking her what they had to serve a warrant. What was he charged with? What were they arresting? And she says she did not know. She was all to pieces because both sisters were there in her face. I mean, we weren't there to be in her face. We were there to get answers.
Was this the time he got arrested for the meth manufacturing and all that stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, we were trying to figure out what he was being arrested for that justified a $250,000 bond.
Yeah.
And I remember just directly talking to Laura and saying, you know, don't fuck with me right now. I want to know why he's got a $250,000 bond. Who did they arrest him for murdering? Or what in the hell is going on? I said, tell me now, and don't fuck with me. Did he have something to do with Summer Wells' disappearance? She sat down on the bed. She was already sitting on the bed. She put her elbows on her knees and her face in her hands, and couldn't even look me in the eye. And all she did was sit there and just shake her head no. And I don't know if that was her trying to just get out of the situation. She never answered me.
She wouldn't verbally answer that much.
She never verbally answered me. All she did was sit and this is what she was doing. I don't know what answer to take from that. There was never a no. She wouldn't look me in the eye, and she wouldn't verbally say anything.
I'm going to speculate a little bit. I'm going to ask you to speculate a little bit.
Okay.
So this isn't anything you've seen or heard yourself. But in the scenario, hypothetically, let's say Fred did do this. He was responsible for Summer, got rid of her somehow, and she knows. Do you think she will ever, if that's the scenario, we're speculating, do you think she would ever tell on him?
No.
She would protect him to her grave?
Okay. The Paula Hour 14 said, I believe that this interview was done and put out to distract from paperwork that Prayer Garden put out proving the parents are pedos. This interview was done way before. It was just released this week. Prayer Garden actually privated whatever she put out. And it's something that has been floating around since 2024. And someone just sent her the cover sheet, which, yes, is important. But if you really want to put it out there, put it all out there. Or let the boys just go on with their life. You know, it's really not something that they want to be reminded of, especially the oldest one, because that puts a mark on his back in the home he's in right now. That is just my opinion, and I'm not saying that she did something purposely to hurt a child. But that is what happened.
Yes.
She'll take it to her grave.
They were that close and they would protect each other.
Well, I mean, they both have 20 years of history and dirt on each other. If you've seen Fred, you've seen Laura. They went hand in hand. Why would she tell on herself? Because she would be in the same boat he was in.
She would get dragged in some way.
Conspiracy is a real charge.
Right.
Carnal knowledge is a real charge.
So in that scenario, anything she says online, we can't.
I believe, well, what are the odds that a couple are together for 20 years? Then,
Well, if Waylon and Wyatt have new names, okay, and the oldest child is in a home, which I guess he can stay until he's 21, I say don't rock that boat. Let him get well. I think they have been through a lot, and I mean a lot. And I've heard over the last month, the oldest child is going to be talking to YouTube soon. Oh, why? Why? That is not going to happen. This dangling the carrot for salacious gossip put on the back of a little boy doesn't make any sense to me. And anyone that says, but we just want the truth, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for them. No one just gets plucked off a Ben Hill Road and gets put with a nice family, their name changed, and suddenly they're doing things like playing soccer, playing baseball, going to the dentist, having dinner at 6, doing homework. They're fish out of water still. They are. Then you have the oldest one who wasn't adopted. So you have a family that's split up, and you have people saying, well, this is what happened to him. I didn't even want to think about it.
an event happens that they're not together anymore, and one of them goes and instantly marries another woman, is living with them and has been with them, but is still in daily contact with his ex. Why would that be? Is that a constant reminder of keep your mouth shut? Is that a constant reminder of we're in this together, don't you ever forget it? That's what it reminds me of, because in what reality would it be okay for that to happen?
Yeah. Do we know that for a fact that did Laura admit that they're communicating still?
No, that's what Ziggy and Fred said on their lives, that they are in communication on a daily basis.
With Laura.
With Laura. And Ziggy's okay with it. Laura's okay with it, and Fred's okay with it. So why be in contact with someone? And it was stated something about it's because they have children together. Okay, I would understand that in a normal situation, but the children they had together have not.
They don't have children together, okay? They had children together, okay? They had children together. True story, they did. But their children are being raised by other families while they flop wherever they can flop. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't to me. I don't understand it at all.
Not been with them for the past 15 plus years.
Right. Good point.
They're not raising children together. Those children are all of them but one are adults.
Yeah. There's no need to communicate about the children.
No, especially when they aren't raised, neither one of them are raising them, period.
Okay.
So it's not about the children.
You've been dealing with this nonstop, with this shit getting put online constantly about you, lie after lie after lie after lie. What's your response to all of that? What do you want to say to them or just to the public about all of this?
Well, I mean, people can believe what they want. I'm not asking anybody to be Team Fred, Team Andy, Team Karen. I'm asking them to be Team Summer. There is not one thing that Fred has brought out on YouTube that has helped Summer's case in any way. Not one thing.
If Fred was standing right there in front of you, no Ziggy around, if he was sitting right here, would you ask him or say anything?
I would tell him that I loved him. And he has hurt me worse than any person in my 53 years of life. And I've been through a lot. I would tell him, like I have before, that I do wish him well. And I wish he would seek help, mental health help, because he does need it, whether he admits it or not. I would tell him that I don't think that he is in a healthy relationship. And I would suggest that he talk with his VO and figure out a different living situation and get on his feet and stand on his own. I would suggest that he goes to AA and NA because there's a lot of peer support there.
After all this, you still seem to really, you love your...
I'm sure he has to go to those programs because he's in drug court. Ziggy showed it on her show. I don't know where I saw it, but I didn't see it on her channel when she had one. She took it down, as you know. But part of being in drug court is he has to go to a lot of different meetings. So maybe Karen just doesn't know. Or she wants him to get help on his own instead of it being court ordered.
Brother.
I do love my brother, but I don't have to agree or condone anything that he says or does. I wish him nothing but the best, but in order for him to live his best life, he's going to have to focus on himself. Do I ever see that happening? Unfortunately, no, and that's the part that breaks my heart the most. Yeah. He is in such a toxic environment. He needs people in his life that will tell him what he needs to hear instead of what he wants to hear. But I do love him. He's my brother. I do love him. And I do wish him the best. And I need him to know that if he continues on the path that he's on, that it's not going to be good. And that's from someone outside looking in. And I'm not the only one that sees it.
I think it says so much that regardless of everything that's been said about you, you don't respond with hate. You're not saying you hate him.
I don't hate him.
You actually are responding with love. You love your brother.
I do love my brother. I don't have to agree with him to love him. I don't have to condone what he says and does and go along with it, even if it makes me look like the bad guy to him.
This is an important question. Marie said, Ziggy, don't take this wrong, but what would you do if you found out Fred lied to you about Summer's disappearance? I'm not saying he had anything to do with it, just wondering what you would think. When she had a channel, she always said that she was prepared for that. I don't think I could be prepared for the person I'm with, my husband, telling me he has something to do with a horrible crime. I don't think I could be prepared for it. And don't worry, her channel will pop back up. It will.
because correct misinformation does not mean I'm standing there screaming at Fred, I hate you and I'm going to do this to spite you, because it's not out of spite. Because, somewhere along the lines, they seem to have forgot what the real focus of what they were doing was. And like I said, it's not Team Fred, it's not Team Andy, Team Karen, it's not Team anybody. It's Team Summer.
You want that joke found?
I really do. I don't live on Beach Creek, and I haven't since I was 17. But that is my hometown community. There's a lot of people down there, good people, that I care for, that have been dragged through the mud and talked about their histories, their past, their mistakes that they have made in their life, regardless of how good they're doing now. That has absolutely nothing to do with the Summer Wells case and should never have been talked about, just like anything before June the 15th, 2021 in my life has nothing to do with Summer. But yet here we are. Just like with Glenda, with Bill, with Steve, with Marvin, with Cotton. I mean, my mom, my dad, anybody that has been brought up from that community, it should never have happened. I mean, that everything that has been said and done from that channel has completely shifted everybody's focus off into the weeds.
And she took her channel down, and they have a separate channel that's just called Fred Hill.
And caused so much confusion over things that shouldn't even be a conversation.
And not just confusion, it obviously hurts people.
It's devastating to people. I mean, people like Glenda, I know for a fact that she's gave Fred gas money. She's gave Fred cigarettes. She has gave Fred food. She's fed him. A lot of people have helped Fred in one manner or another in a lot of ways. And every single one of them, he's wiped his ass with them.
And it's impacted your daily life.
Oh, it has.
Stress, anxiety,
yes.
Fear.
Well,
Afraid?
I mean, I'm not afraid of Fred,
Okay.
but I know what the possibilities could be, and it has caused a lot of stress on me. I mean, I had a heart attack because of this bullshit.
You had a heart attack?
Yes, I did. October of 24.
Holy cow. Yeah, that's stress.
Yeah.
Well, I think this interview is one that we wanted to do more than any other because we know how this is impacting your life.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Karen 100%. And when people say they hate Fred, they might hate, the lifestyle he lives. They may hate that he doesn't take care of his children. They may hate that he's sponging off your tax dollars to live. They could hate that. I mean, you have to actually know someone and meet them to hate them. And it's a word people use. Truth be known. And for whatever reason, he appears that he has a lot to hide. Again, I want to know why. Because I don't think he did anything with Summer that day. I think he saw her. I think at 4:30 in the afternoon, I think he saw her. I believe him. Where did she go from there? I don't know. Or he's lying about that since Leslie Earnhardt from TBI said she disappeared early afternoon, and other law enforcement said didn't call until around 6:30 p.m. Let me ask you this. Fred aside, the show's about Summer. How long would it take you to call 911 if you couldn't find your child? And everyone will have different answers. They'll be like, ooh, I remember that time at the zoo, or one time at the fair, or one time at the store in the toy aisle. There's really no wrong answers. How long would you wait to call 911 if you could not find your child?
And it's impacting a lot of people in the community, like you've said, but your life, because you're so close to Fred and you have more emotions surrounding him and his relationships and what he's doing, Jen and I appreciate so much that you're willing to do this today and go into so much detail and share a lot of hard things that you've shared today. So
I just don't understand why he has been hyper focused on me and targeted me to the extreme that he has, and said the things, the lies that he's told, the stories he's made up. Well, I mean, look how he talks about his mom and his dad. And our life wasn't a cakewalk. But out of all three of us kids, Fred benefited more from mom and dad. They did more for him than he did anybody.
Yeah.
And me and Julie combined helped them do more for Fred. There's nothing there to be jealous of. You can't be jealous of a taker when you're the one doing all the giving. Right. They have to have something that you would want in return for you to be jealous of them or their life or any aspect of it. So that's not even a possibility. Fred blames mom for how his life ended up. And mom was at fault to a degree, but only in the aspect of she was always fixing Fred's problems, helping him, giving him what he needed, not ever saying no till it got to the point that she wasn't allowed to say no. Fred don't understand that if mom had control over him, it's because he handed it to her. Do I have any say-so in your life, Ryan? Do I pay your bills?
Okay, so there's some resentment going on. I mean, I will admit that. There is some resentment between Karen and Fred. That is for sure. Okay? She has mentioned her parents several times. She has mentioned that she helped Fred. And so Karen probably doesn't want to admit this, but she's enabled Fred as well. Horrible thing to say about someone who's trying to help, but she has. Who pays your bills? Let's ask Grace. Grace, who pays your bills, honey? Big T, who pays your bills? Val's Variety Venue, who pays your bills? Angel P, who pays your bills? So yes, you have some resentment going on because she knows that her brother has been patted on the head for a long time, and she was part of the patting. Okay? That's it. And then this thing happens with Summer Wells, the craziness with Laura, him going to jail for the umpteenth time, the Zigster trying to get into the parents' property. I think it's a lot for someone to take, and I can't blame her for being pretty PO'd. I just can't. Is it helping Summer? No. Does it give us a backstory? Yes.
Do I do anything? Do you receive anything from me?
No.
Okay, so that means my opinion don't mean shit, right? Okay, but if I was paying your bills, paying your house payment,
Yes.
paying your car payment, your insurance, buying your groceries, I would have pretty much every right in the world to have an opinion in whatever the fuck you were doing, right? If I was having to fund it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the relationship between Mom and Fred. If she was funding every aspect in his life, she felt like she had an opinion and a right to have one, justifiably so. But yet Fred doesn't see it that way.
I want to say this before we close up. Number one, if I believed in reincarnation, I would want to come back as a Southern woman's son.
Yeah.
Because every Southern woman dotes over their sons.
Mm-hmm.
And every Southern woman's daughters dote after the sons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ask my 2 children.
Yeah.
So, Z, you can say whatever the fuck you want to. Fred was a well.
Ooh, what is this? Kiki 2025. Brooks, I got 49 before I hit 1,000 subs. Girl, it's taken forever. Then we should collab. You should send me a message and we should collab.
Kept man.
He sure was.
And you ain't got shit on nobody.
I guess to close, I don't want to close without you getting anything off your chest that you want to be able to get off your chest. So any final words, anything at all?
At this point, I don't even know what else to say, except they need to stop. They can do whatever they want, but they need to stop with the lies and the stories and the made-up bullcrap and just constantly dragging somebody through the mud. Because it's not just me, it's been a multitude of people. And it's all bullshit.
Jen and I both want to thank you for taking the time, and I know we took you to really emotional places today, and I know it was hard. So thank you for being willing to do this with us today, and we are praying for you and hope for the best.
Well, it was emotional for me too. And yes, I believe Karen. Do I think her memory is sharp as a tack? Probably not, because I don't know who at 53 years old has a memory sharp as a tack. Is she super pissed at her brother, Fred, who she still loves? Seems that way. Is she really getting tired of Ziggy getting in her business? Seems that way. Is she really wanting to find out what's really going on in the Beach Creek community? Yeah, I believe she is. And the fact that she would sit down with Ryan for a couple of hours. And remember, this was done way before Prayer Garden put out the paperwork. It's not all out, okay? You don't want to see the other 6 pages. Well, page 5 is totally blank. You don't want to see it. It's gruesome. What the boys described is gruesome. Just take it from me. Take it from me. They deserve peace, quiet, and comfort. And hopefully the next sheriff decides to do something with some dirty asses that live right there in Hawkins County. And I think we can figure out who I'm talking about. Patricia, why is Brooks saying that Ziggy was trying to adopt any Wells children? Well, Brooks didn't say it. Ziggy said it on her channel before she took the channel down. So, no. You see, her and I don't have conversations like that. I mean, I could replay it for you, but she took her channel down. I mean, I can bring people up that hurt it themselves as well. Sorry that you're upset about something your friend might have said as a joke. Truly could have been a joke. Don't know. All right, you guys, I am running off of here. I've got farming to do. I want to say again, thank you, Preschool Granny, for renewing. Thank you, Chrissy, for renewing. Pat K, thank you for the membership. Big T, Angel P, Kiki, thank you. Janaka, thank you for the memberships. You guys are the blood that keeps the heart of this channel pumping. You guys are the absolute best, and I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Kiki, don't forget to get a hold of me. Love you guys.